Well, welcome to Behind the Minds of Women in Business. And this is a space where we talk strategies, organization, and hopefully offer advice and insights to other business owners. Today, I have with me Lisa, who is a parent coach and an advocate for healthy families, and also the co-founder of Championing Your Parenting.
Thank you so much for having me. I am thrilled to be here. Yes, like you said, I am the co-founder of Champion Your Parenting, and we're a parent coaching organization. And so for a lot of people, they don't understand what that is because they haven't ever heard of parent coaching. People are very much more in tune with, say, life coaches or personal trainers or executive coaches. And parent coaching is quite a bit like all of those in that we come alongside parents and really help them to discover their strengths, to develop their skill sets so that they can be the best parents possible because they have the power to make their families function more beautifully together and to really find the joy in parenting that they had when they first started out as parents. And at the time, my partner and I were both educators. So I was a principal of an elementary school, and she was a principal who had moved from being a principal into administration. And so we started this business because in our roles in education, we really saw very often that parents were at a loss for how to help their kids when they were struggling in school or struggling with relationships or all kinds of different things that kids go through. And many of the parents that we met didn't have the skill sets that they needed. And so we wanted to be able to provide them with a resource for that. My interest in families has been lifelong. When I was just a teen, when I was first out of college, I started becoming a nanny, working for a family, and I always have had a real deep love for family. I have 5 children of my own and 10 grandchildren. And so family has been just on the forefront of everything that I'm passionate about in life. And so being a parent coach has just been a natural progression for me in my passion and in my interest.
How did you got started with championing your parent? What was the process of, hey, we have to do a website, how are we gonna show up on social media?
Right.
How was that process? Was it difficult or you first started? A lot of people, they just start, they know the people, they're coaches and they already have like a referral system. So they don't start right away with social media and just start by referral. So how was that process for you?
Yes, for us, it really was needing to get out there and introduce ourselves to what will become our clientele. And we knew that we would be looking for parents who were on social media. So right away, we started with Instagram account, a Pinterest account, a Facebook account. And later on in the process, we went into LinkedIn. And then, of course, we always had a website because when we started the business, websites were the place that people went to find out about a business. Now I feel like social media has kind of taken over some of the responsibilities that once used to be held by websites, that people are more apt to look at your social media platforms for your expertise and for your legitimacy than they necessarily are going to websites. But we had to navigate all those different things. And of course, the algorithms for each of those social media sites changes over time. And so you're constantly needing to kind of be on top of what's going to get you the most exposure for your presence. And it's been an interesting journey, and I got to say it's sometimes frustrating, but at other times extremely rewarding. Lately, in the past year, LinkedIn has become quite a active site for us because personally, I find that LinkedIn is very rewarding in that people are responsive.
Yeah,
When
that's true.
you comment, people comment back. When you comment on someone's post, the person who posted it usually comments back. So I've really been able to develop relationships with many more people through my LinkedIn connections than I have in either Facebook or Instagram. And that's been very rewarding. And it really causes you to be motivated to continue to post on LinkedIn and to continue to engage because you get that feedback and you get that sense of community. And so our goal has always been with our social media to put ourselves out there so that people can know us and like us and trust us. Because when you're looking for someone to help you with your parenting, you absolutely need to be able to trust that person and know what they're about before you are going to say, hey, I'll let you into my deepest concerns in life, which is raising my kids.
Yeah, that's true. And I do feel the same way about LinkedIn because
Mhm.
Instagram is a bit different. You can post a post and like a lot of people don't engage, or like people are not being like as engaged like as before. And I feel LinkedIn, as you say, you comment back, you feel like it's more of a community.
Mhm.
So if you're supporting me, I want to support you. And it
Right.
feels more like this community, like easy to build. A lot of people don't have like the concept of parent coach, or they know
Mhm.
more like life coach or like
Right.
money
Right.
coach, like these other type of coaches. So how was it starting for you in social media as a whole to educate people on
Mm.
this is how can I help? What was your strategy, or what is the advice you give to people who are in industries that are very different and you have to educate people what you do for them?
Yeah.
So
One of the things that was especially helpful was connecting with other parent coaches. Because when you start to realize that there really is a network of people who do what you do out there, you start to feel more confident in describing your services and that sort of thing. The other thing that helped me quite a bit was becoming a member of a networking group. And in that networking group, I had an opportunity to educate them about parent coaching. And it gave me the verbiage that I needed and the confidence that I needed to be able to then go out into even more, into the social media realm and into other one-on-one or even group settings, and be able to confidently describe for people, okay, this is what I do, and these are the people that I can help. And so it really helped to get that confidence for me. The best way for me to describe parent coaching is really to compare it to personal trainer, because most people already know how to exercise, and they probably know what exercises they could do that would help them to be healthier, right? Just like most parents know if things are going wrong in their family, and they have some idea of some of the ways that they could fix them. But the benefits of a personal trainer is that that personal trainer really teaches you the exact skills you need and helps you to find your strengths and helps you to be accountable for doing things. That's what I do as a parent coach. I help parents to discover what they're strong at. I help parents to really attack the issues that are happening in their family. And I help them to be accountable, because they know that they're going to meet with me in another couple weeks, and they're going to have to say, well, yeah, I'm still struggling with this. Okay, well, what's your plan of attack for this week? And I help to keep them accountable on bettering their parenting.
like what would you say is like the most way people have found you? Is it more through networking, referrals, or have you found also through social media?
I found some of my clients through social media, but the majority has been through networking and referrals.
So would you say is really important for coaches? An advice you would give is collaborate, join,
Yes.
go out there. Is that
Yes.
something you feel is really important?
Yes, to get yourself physically in front of people is really important, because even though we live in an age where this kind of interaction is acceptable and normal, and we feel like we've made a connection, when you are human to human, when you're right there in their presence, there's a different kind of connection. And so I think that's extremely important. Many, many people are either shy or they consider themselves introverts. And so being outgoing and meeting new people and being in those settings isn't comfortable for them. And I think that some of the best ways for people, that isn't my background, but I do have good friends who have that as part of who they are. And sadly, I think that many people who feel shy or introverted see that as a deficit. And I think that I'd like for them to start to see it as a strength, because there are a lot of things that introverts have going for them that people who are naturally extroverted don't have. For instance, people who are extroverted aren't nearly as good listeners as introverts are.
Yeah.
And oftentimes people who are extroverts talk too much. Whereas when an introvert is making a statement, it's usually very thoughtful, very powerful. And so I would suggest that someone who feels shy or introverted in those kind of settings, that they try to set themselves up with smaller groups of people where they can listen well and give their input at key moments and start to feel proud of the input that they can give and not feel like they have to become more like an extrovert.
Let people know what you do, right? That's
Yep.
another, just let people know like, hey, I'm a parent coach or I'm a life coach. This is what I do. This is what I help people with. And
Yep.
then they're gonna keep you on like their mind, like for the
Right.
next and everything,
Right.
right?
Right. And I think because parent coaching is so unique that we could end up being a topic of conversation amongst people when they're talking about parenting issues, and someone might say, hey, you know what? I never heard about this before, but did you know there's parent coaches?
If you, even when you say like, oh, I'm a parent coach, people are, what is that? You know, they're more interested to hear. So
Right,
putting
right.
yourself
It's
out there, like,
curiosity.
what is an advice that you would give to women who are just starting out on social media and they want to put themselves out there, how to start, and probably like they have like 0 followers and they're just setting up. How was
Yep.
your process like that?
You know, I would love to offer advice, and the reason I would give it is because I didn't do it right. So oftentimes it's like, oh, if I could go back, if I could only go back. If I could go back, I would from the very beginning put my own image out there and make sure that I was the face of my posts. And not saying that your face has to be on every post, but people need to recognize you and need to know that you are the person who's talking to them. And so that's one of the reasons why video is so popular, because typically that's the person that's making the statements rather than having some kind of stock image. I would put my face out there as much as possible, and I wouldn't be hesitant to make a mistake, because every mistake you make means that you're learning and moving on to a better product. And if you just wait and wait and wait till you think you've got it perfect, then you've waited too long and you may have missed your window of opportunity. And so don't be worried about making a mistake, and put your face out there so that people can get to know you, because that's the purpose in marketing, is you want people to know your product, and you are your product.
You see
Right.
shift from maybe just chatting away and just putting like your logo and you weren't showing yourself, that then when you decided, hey, like I'm gonna show like personal brand, who I am, and put myself there as a person, give like the company a face, did you see a shift there, people more open coming to you?
Definitely more interactions once there was a face to it. We started out using a lot of stock images that were aligned with the message. So if the message was, you're dealing with a angry teen, we might have a picture of a mom and a teenager. And that didn't help us to be identifiable as our brand. Once we started to really put our own faces out there, we started to get people that were more communicative with us.
How long did it took you to make that shift? It's not
Yeah, it
yeah.
took way too long. It was
It took
years.
way, oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Then would you say personal branding takes a better role like with your company now?
Yeah, for sure. And telling your stories. People want to know. They want to know what you've been through and what you've struggled with.
When you share stories, people feel more connected. They want to know you more.
Exactly.
They feel
Yep.
identified. So those posts always do way better, like
Yeah.
other types of posts. But which one is your main channel?
Oh, definitely LinkedIn. I really am I'm putting the majority of my effort into LinkedIn at this point. Yeah. For a number of reasons. One, I think that my ideal client, I think, is probably better accessed through LinkedIn. Not to say that she or he isn't on those other sites, but I think she or he comes to look for resources and to look for solutions on LinkedIn. Whereas on the other platforms, I think people are going there for more enjoyment and going to LinkedIn for more information, education, solutions. My strategy has been to post frequently, so 3 to 5 times a week, goal being 5 times a week, and then also to post regularly at the same time during the day, because people tend to have a routine of being on LinkedIn. So I can meet the people that are at that time, if I'm posting at that time. When I post, I stay active on LinkedIn during the time after my post goes live so that I can interact. So that if someone does respond and comment on mine, I'm right there and able to comment back. I set my devices so that I get notified if people comment so that I can be on top of commenting back in order to build that community. And then also I've used the search feature so that I can find people that I think would fit my ideal client, people who are parents, and that's not always part of their description. So, and then I fashion my direct messages so that I'm asking them, hey, just a quick question. Do you happen to be a parent? And if you are, can you share some of your challenges with me? And so putting things out there and really trying to gather together the kind of people. But I also think that on LinkedIn, as on any social media, there are a lot of people who are just watching what you're posting and watching what you do. And at some point, they may reach out to you and they may never have interacted by liking or commenting on your stuff ever. In fact, one of my most recent clients from LinkedIn said she'd found me on LinkedIn, but I know she had never commented. She had never interacted. I don't think she'd even clicked like on any of my stuff, but she contacted me from LinkedIn.
When it comes to LinkedIn, on your personal perspective, you can give like the 3 things that you see that work for you and you might think that they can work for another person.
I think the 3 top things would be to post often. I think for some people, they try even to post a couple times a day. I haven't gotten to that level yet, but I would say post often and post at the same time. Be present when your post goes live so that you can be responding to things. And then the other piece that I would say I'm trying to get better at this is to start to see your profile page as almost a website kind of main page that people are going to check out your profile and that's almost like a sales page. That's like the front door of your business. If you had a business in downtown Main Street, that's your front door. And so treat it that way and get it set up so that it's welcoming. People want to learn more about you. Keep going. And if you're passionate about something and you really feel that you can make it work, be smart in making good decisions and get good advice from people you trust. Don't be afraid to get help because I think, especially, as a parent coach, I also have a coach. And so I don't think that you can do what you do without getting the kind of support you need. So I have a business coach. And that's because I want to be doing the best I can for this business. Find the resources that are going to help you to become the best.
That's the most important one, I think, because I know a lot of people, and as well, I have worked with coaches, business coaches. They know already, probably they've been through this, and having like a second opinion, someone who's gonna offer you insights or hey, you should do this, having a coach is definitely a good idea. So how can people find you?
Best way actually to interact with me is on LinkedIn. And just go to my name, LinkedIn, Lisa Reichelt, Reichelt. And then online, we're at championyourparenting.com. So love to interact with anyone and love it if they would let me know that they found me through you.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you. Yeah, this has been wonderful.